here's something to think about. The dollar is strong. What's going on? Why is the dollar so strong right now? We're going to talk about all of that. And I'm going to talk about, of course, where I like to start these streams is by showing you guys what I am personally trading right now. So euro dollar, we are short. As of last week, we caught just post, I think it was CPI numbers out of the United States. Numbers shot up and then completely plummeted. And on that plummet, that rejection candle, I picked it up on the short side. And so far looking very, very good. The US dollar strength here is really helping out the positions at this time and floating currently, guys, like a 5.5 risk to reward trade. Shout out to members who may have caught the same trade. This was an alert shared inside of our Discord channel, and I have been doing updates throughout the day. So let me just go real quick. I'll show you this. So we've been taking trades, a lot of Euro USD bearishness, and I'm also watching gold. So we'll talk about gold here in just a few minutes. For those of you guys who are watching euro dollar, I said this morning that I'm watching it out the gate, and well, yesterday actually for me, but Sunday open. Asian session got us started, and right off the bat, we have just continued to see the euro dollar plummet. Question then becomes, Nick, what's next? Where are you? What's the next move here? So I trailed my stop once over here. So this was initially, so I had my stop loss here initially. Once price broke out and put in this kind of lower high, price plummeted down. I went ahead and trailed my stop loss, took my risk off the table. But fortunately, this move has continued a lot more than I even thought it would in the short term. We plummeted again here this morning, and I was able to trail my stops yet again here in profit. So at this point, I have locked in at least like a 2R trade. And right now we are floating 5.5R on the Euro USD trade. So is this one that I plan on holding for the long term? Not really. This is one that I just want to let the market tell me if this dollar strength keeps going. I want to stay short, right? I want to stay short euro, long USD. That's kind of where I'm positioned personally. Now, like I said, this is not, I didn't short this right here for new traders. I shorted it back up in this area and sent that out inside of our Discord when I did so. So that's euro USD. That's probably most pressing for me on the watch list. So yeah. Chandler also, I think he is our producer, our editor here. He is currently short Aussie dollar, which he's short on that for our competition. He's not a trader by any means. That's not what he does. But he, of course, is the wizard behind all these live streams. He took a Aussie dollar short. We've been training him how to take some basic trading concepts. And again, what a trade he caught this Aussie dollar sell. So. Going really nicely. We'll see if these things want to keep going. And again, Euro USD off the 4-hour chart, breaking through support, looks really clean right now. So we'll continue to watch that one as we go forward. Pound USD, kind of a similar boat, guys. Here's the thing. Daily chart, though, watch out. If you're watching GBP USD, you should probably pay attention to the fact that this huge level of past resistance turn support is now being retested yet again. And what this could mean is that, again, this is a kind of a battle here between longer term bulls who have been pushing the pound dollar up this year versus the short term bears who have a lot of momentum coming into this zone. So how am I reacting? Well, I'm not going to go long, and I'm not really trading short either. My personal opinion is we got to wait to see if this level actually wants to break and hold.
Did you know that you can watch Trader Nick live stream every morning, Monday through Friday, with guests from all around the world? Each morning right here on the A1 Trading YouTube channel, we put on a live show where Trader Nick, along with some very special guests, go over their charts and ideas for every kind of asset. We do a live reaction to news drops and do analysis immediately following. You never know what's going to happen during one of our streams. So come be a part of the live stream community. You can find our live streaming schedule on the A1 Trading Twitter account each week so you never miss a news event.
Or if it wants to bounce and hold support, or if it's going to break out, and in which case there may be more downside for the pound USD coming. So I don't really have any trade setups on that one. That one's kind of just something that a lot of people have been asking me about. I don't have any trades. Like I said, I prefer euro dollar at this time and trying to ride that one. Indices are getting crushed here as we continue to see this sell off. Here's your 4-hour chart. You can see just really, really tough time for the indices. Every little pop gets sold into. I would like to be long on the indices again, but I've mentioned this in, recent videos and things that I'm watching. I'm looking for, some reversal. I need to see like a breakout here before I try and get long again on the indices. And until that happens, I'm just going to stay on the sidelines. I'm not looking to short, not looking to do anything of that nature. Guys, we do have new COT data coming in. Of course, we get this data every week. This shows us what institutional money has been doing. And I know Frank is very eager to talk about that. So taking a look at the COT data, Frank, you shot me a text message about this stuff, some interesting moves going on in terms of what smart money is up to. What is kind of on your radar today?
Yeah, so I noticed Friday and Sunday when they started rolling out that COT is buying up the indices, selling dollar, selling gold, and buying oil, which is kind of the opposite of what's happening this morning. So think of so they're buying up S&P, which is down another whatever percent on the day. Oil, I think, saw a little spike, but still might be down. Dollar is up high. The 2-year bond yield is breaking out, actually, which I have a chart pulled up on that. On the daily chart, it kind of entered a wedge pattern and then broke higher. So this could be a potential, another run up to maybe the highs again around 5.1%. I don't know. But, dollar looking really strong. It's kind of a tough call, but I will be looking for oil longs. I won't be looking for gold longs because COT is not showing anything there. But indices, especially the S&P, saw a major increase in bullishness. They picked up a good amount of shares to the long side, and at the same time got rid of a lot of short contracts. So looking at
Frank,
those things.
let me just clarify what you're pointing out for people who are maybe newer to the commitment of traders data. What Frank is mentioning is that the COT data comes out once a week. It gives us an insight as to what big money in general has been up to. This is a report that they are required by law to fulfill, to displace or display what they've been buying, what they've been selling. And so what Frank mentioned, first of all, you mentioned two notable things, the S&P and gold. First of all, let's look at the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 has this past week, as of the latest data, we've seen an increase in the number of long contracts opened. And as you mentioned, Frank, really what is incredibly bullish here is that we had a almost minus 35,000 contracts on the short side. What that means is that they closed a huge amount of shorts that were open on the market. And so that reversal, if everyone is covering their shorts, that is potentially suggesting that they think the market is going higher. So big money seems to be very long biased on the S&P 500, despite that really big sell-off that we had this past week. Frank, I'll come back to gold to talk about that in a second, but if you want to pull up your S&P 500 chart, how are you playing that this week? Is that something that you're looking to buy because of this, or I guess, are you on the sidelines? What do you think about the S&P?
Right. So this is very similar to oil. I want to look at that next too, but on the daily chart, it's up against this trend line and demand zone. Hasn't broken underneath, although it's down today. It's still maintaining that spot above the trend line. So as long as we see price stay above there, I think I would probably be looking for longs. Might even take a long trade today, but we have to see what the dollar is doing as well. But yeah, I like it at this level. If it breaks lower, so be it. But we're pretty close to, that decision point, so we can put our stops pretty tight, minimize loss, and then hopefully ride it to the upside. That March 22 target, which is this area up here, which the market hasn't hit yet this year, but last year's highs was this before it entered into a downtrend. And so 46.40-ish would be a good target to look for on the S&P. But we got big retail earnings. I think Walmart's this week, maybe tomorrow. But just a lot of volatility, and we got a lot of inflation, meeting minutes, like just a bunch of monetary news coming out, which is very, I guess, causing a lot of volatility. So on top of that, oil's doing the same thing, hovering on that trend line. It broke to higher highs, so it made another leg up at around 84. I would like it to stay above that trend line as well. So I think I have this bullish bias on both for now as we start the week. But if it breaks under, maybe look for another support level around 80, but keep the stop losses tight and see what happens.
Yeah, no, and I think, just to follow up with your oil idea, chart's looking really strong. Yes, we're hitting resistance, but, again, we go back to the COT report. We do this every Monday. For those of you guys who are newer to the stream, let me just take a quick second to remind you, if you're enjoying this content, if this is helpful to you anyway, first of all, hit the thumbs up button. That would really help us out. But make sure to also subscribe and click that notification bell so that you can join us back for live streams, especially Mondays. These are really important kind of breakdowns when Frank and I do the COT data stuff. But Frank, to follow you on that USOil concept, this for us, the way we've scored the EDGEFINDER is probably the perfect example of a very, very bullish reading, right? Because we have overall the percentage of number of long contracts relative to short is like 75.5%. That's very, very high. So we have a big long interest on the oil market. But then on top of that, as of the latest data, as you mentioned earlier when you first joined the call, oil has seen a really big change week to week in the number of long contracts. An additional 15,261 long contracts were added by large speculators in the market, and only a slight increase in short interest. So overall, I would say that this is a pretty bullish COT report week for oil. And the last one before we pass it back to you to take a look at gold, Frank, I'm actually kind of short term thinking gold looks pretty bearish off of this report, because what we see here is kind of a rock solid sell week for gold participants, because what we can see here is that yes, overall they're still pretty long, but this week was a home run hit for the sellers, because what we see is that number of longs on gold were decreased by 10,000. So 10,000 contracts were closed on the long side, but then on the short side, almost 12,000 contracts were opened short. So again, that's pretty bearish, at least in the COT data this week. Frank, what do you think about gold? And are you looking to sell it? Are you looking to buy it? Or are you waiting for a breakout? What do you think?
So it does look very bearish. I would like to buy it, but I just can't justify it right now. So sure. I think the likelihood of it going under 1900 is pretty high. I could see another test around 1890s. 1893 is where I have this marker. That would just be a previous bottom. I think it would be a double bottom. We got this level right here and then this one over here. So maybe another test, and I didn't fully draw this trend line, but it's just completely rejecting off that. So I think at least at the start of this week, we're going to see some lower gold prices, like a continuation of lower gold prices. And if it hits the 1890s level, I'll probably look for a long, but we'll see. Gold is still very heavily net bullish, but this past week's activity in COT suggests that they're not looking to get long this metal.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair analysis. Longer term, I still think there's plenty of upside for gold, but in the short term, COT looks bearish, price action looks bearish. I think we're probably on the same page there for at least the short term.
Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want our broker recommendation, access to our free Discord, free EDGEFINDER, or want to chat with us on Telegram. Remember, you can watch us live in the markets every morning starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have lots more free trading tools and content available on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching.